Plaintiff Christina Narvez says the defendant is her mother's neighbor, and he thinks he runs the block and no one will stand up to him. Christina says the defendant has no respect for women, and he even propositioned her mother for sex. And she's suing him and his grandson today for auto repairs. Defendants Ralph Lewis and his grandson Ralph Taylor insist Ralph never propositioned Christina's mother for sex, but he does say that Christina cheated on her husband with a friend of Ralph's during a barbecue at his house. Ralph admits that his grandson hit Christina's car with a basketball, but he's already paid for his share of the damages.
Start with you.
Well, first off, Mr. Lewis, he is just this big guy who thinks he runs the block. He reminds me of Debo from Friday. He thinks that everybody is intimidated of him and everybody's afraid to step up to him.
I'm trying to take a good look at him to see if Tiny Lister is his name. He's a friend of mine. Let me see. How old are you, sir?
55.
55?
Yes, sir.
I think I'm just trying to see when he gets 55 what he look like. You know.
Does he look this good?
Okay,
just ask him.
All right.
Just ask him.
Yes, ma'am. He's the dog on the block, huh? He tries to run the block.
Yeah, he tries to run the block. He just has no respect for women in general.
How so? What does he do?
His favorite thing to do is to degrade women. He actually propositioned my mother for sex.
Did he know that she was committed to another relationship?
Yeah, he actually stated to her, and I have a witness statement here
Let me see it,
from her, saying that she can sneak in the back door when her man was not at work, and that he does have a big one.
Whoa.
My response is I have to go. I already have something in the oven. Sir, did you do that?
Absolutely not, Your Honor.
Why do you think the lady made it up? Why do you think the woman made it up?
Oh, we have a feud.
Like what? About what? Tell me about it.
I do live next door to her mother, and the whole family is really bizarre. But anyway.
Well, like what?
For one, we both live in a 3-bedroom apartment. About 5 families live in our house. Her mother's husband, we were talking in my garage one day, and he told me, says, well, that having sex with his wife, meaning her mother, was really irritating. He says, just nothing. And I told her, we got in an argument, and I put that out there, and ever since then, we've been back and forth. So I never made that statement.
Why would you go and tell her that?
Well, we were arguing. We were arguing.
What were you all arguing about?
Your Honor, we've argued about several things. They called the police on me 5 times.
For what?
Each time me and my mate argue in our house, they call the police. But anyway, we've been feuding for a long time, Your Honor.
So why did you have to tell this woman rubbing her face something her husband confided? That was the lowest punch.
Yes, that was, Your Honor, but at that time
She ever punch you that low?
Oh, yeah.
Like what?
Like she told my wife that much there. That's when these verses went back and forth. That's what happened.
She told your wife that?
My wife. Where we were outside.
Did your mother tell his wife that?
That he had propositioned her? Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. What else you want me to know before we get into the specifics of the auto repair she's suing about?
I do want to say, Your Honor, I don't know much about this young lady. I know much about, her mother. We do live side by side. I do know I gave an event in my house, a picnic, a party for my little guy. Her and her kids came. You got, 4, 6 kids, something like that. But anyway,
how many children do you have?
I have 4 children.
Let's just make it clear. Okay, sir, go ahead.
Anyway, at the event, Your Honor, she left my house with a friend of mine that came to the event while her husband and her children were there. And they went and my friend came back and said they had been very intimate. I knew she knew him. She left with him. And they came back about 45 minutes later, leaving her husband and her children. In fact, he was helping me barbecue. And my buddy came back, and because she knew him. I mean,
Stand up, sir. State your name.
Samuel Lopez.
Were you helping him barbecue when your wife disappeared?
Actually not, because that day fell on, the day of the party fell on the day of our anniversary, and we was gone.
Oh, you didn't go to the party at all?
No, at all.
All right, let's get to the auto repairs. Go ahead.
I'm just suing for the total damage of...
What happened?
Mr. Taylor was out playing basketball with some of his friends, and I was leaving to the store that day to go get some stuff to cook, and they had hit my van with the basketball while I was in the van, and I told them, if they could be careful and whatnot. And then I left, came back, and then went in the house, came back out later that evening, and there was a very big visible dent, and I have pictures.
All right.
Of the
So what
property.
happened after that?
I went and I confronted them about it. They said they didn't know what had happened. Then they had said to go ask a 6-year-old across the street about it because the 6-year-old
that's
had
pretty good
been.
dent. What did the 6-year-old say?
The 6-year-old, his grandmother actually spoke and said that he didn't do it.
Did the
because
defendant ever admit to it?
He.
You don't know. Let me
No.
hear from you, sir.
Okay, well, me and my friends was playing basketball, and her car was there. I hit it the first time, and she said, "Can you be careful?" I apologized, and I said, "Yeah." Now, after that, we got done. As far as the dent, I don't know.
You never admitted to doing it?
No, I never
All
admitted
right.
to doing it, but I didn't want to
You want
argue.
to say something else?
Yes, Your Honor. We talked about the dent, and she came to me about the dent, Your Honor. And I told her, listen, because the rim is on my side of the driveway, my grandson, I will commit to having to pay something on your vehicle.
Oh, okay.
She said, okay. She says, I'm going to go to Mako and get an estimate. Because there were other people involved, I told her we will definitely do half because he was wrong.
Okay.
Okay, she went to Mako. She came back. The estimate was 9-something.
Let's see it.
Well, this is my money order
Did
to
you
her.
pay
She
your
had the
half?
estimate.
Did you pay your half?
This is the money order for my half right here.
Oh, let's see it. Ma'am, was that the agreement?
The agreement was to pay for half the damages. The police did get called that evening.
Ma'am, did
because
he
it was-
pay for half?
No.
All right, he presents me something for $450. Did you
Correct.
receive it?
No, I never received it.
All right, sir, it doesn't have her name on it.
What happened was we set it up to get this money order. I got the money. She said, I want my money on the 1st of that date. I went and got the money order, Your Honor. I came back to her.
Why
I
doesn't
said,
she even
"Listen."
have your name on it?
No,
This
I
doesn't
told-
have anything to show you purchased
Your
it.
Honor, I told her, I said, listen, tell me the name of Mako and your name, because I wanted to write to Mako.
What about your own
She
name? You
wanted
didn't
me-
know your own name? Your name isn't on it. It
I
says
understand that.
purchaser's signature, and you don't have your name on there. When did you give it to her and how?
Your Honor, on the 1st, and the day that it was scheduled to be paid, I saw this young lady going to her mother's house. I stopped. I said, could you please tell me your name, full name, so I can write this to you and Mako?
What did she say?
She went in the house. She said, I'll be right back. I stood in the driveway, Your Honor. I waited. I sent my family to ring the doorbell and say she's eating. She came back out and said, no, I don't want to sign it to Mako. I want the money order myself.
And that's when you
and
handed
that
it
I
to her?
refused. No. I
You
refused to
never
give it.
gave it to her?
Yes. I never gave it.
When?
to her.
That's why I keep asking you.
No.
When did you give it to her?
Your Honor, I had it.
Did
for-
you give it to her? What's wrong with
No.
you? My goodness.
No.
Something wrong with you.
No, Your Honor.
$970 is your judgment. He presented this as if he gave it to you, said he did, and then after going through all these stories, he admitted that he didn't. Judgment for the plaintiff.
When I get home, I don't have to see him because he doesn't live next to me.
Yeah, well, hopefully this is the end of it. Like I said, I felt like I was manipulated.